Hello my dear students. So in this video I will be discussing exercise 3.4. So the first question is state whether true or false. See the first statement, all rectangles are squares. In order to be a square, all the sides has to be equal. Okay, in that particular quadrilateral all the sides needs to be equal. But in case of rectangle all the sides are not equal. So the first statement will be a false one. Okay, the first one is false. Now coming to the B part, what they have told, all rhombuses are parallelograms. See, rhombus is also a type of parallelogram. So yes, it is correct, all rhombuses are parallelograms. Definitely it is a true statement. The C one, all squares are rhombuses and also rectangles. All squares are rhombuses. See, what is a rhombus? A parallelogram whose all sides are equal. So a square fulfills this property. And what is a rectangle? A rectangle means each pair of opposite sides has to be equal and all the angles has to be of measure 90 degree. So this is also one of the properties, that this property is being satisfied by square also. Here each pair of opposite sides equal means all the sides are equal. So we can say that each pair of opposite sides equal and all the angles are of measure 90 degree. So this is also a true statement. Okay. Number D, all squares are not parallelograms. See, when we were learning about the different types of parallelograms, under that only we got that there are different types of parallelograms such as square, rhombus, rectangle, isn't it? So there only we have learned that square is a particular type of parallelogram. But here they have given all squares are not parallelograms. It means that this is a false statement, isn't it? Our square is definitely a parallelogram. Now E, all kites are rhombuses. What is a kite? Isn't it? Here only two pairs of consecutive sides are exactly two pairs of consecutive sides are equal. Means this side will be equal to this and this side will be equal to this. So can we say that a kite is a rhombus? Because see, in order to be a rhombus all the sides needs to be of equal length. But a kite doesn't satisfy this property. So it cannot be true. If they would have said all rhombuses are kites, then it would have been true. But they have given all kites are rhombuses. So this is also false. Now coming to F, all rhombuses are kites. Okay, just I have discussed, if they would have given all rhombuses are kites, they have given all rhombuses are kites. See, in a rhombus all the when we draw a rhombus, what happens? All the sides are equal, and we can consider this to be a kite also, because in a kite exactly two pair of consecutive sides has to be equal. So this is the property that is being satisfied, and the diagonals also bisect at 90 degree. Okay, in case of kite they may not, means one diagonal will be bisecting the other but not both of them. But in case of rhombus both the diagonals are bisecting each other. So whatever are the properties of kites that are being satisfied by the rhombus, so we can say that all rhombuses are kites. So it is also a true statement. True. F. G. What is the statement? G. All parallelograms are trapeziums. Okay. In order to be trapezium, what is needed? One pair of opposite sides has to be parallel. And in a parallelogram, both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, isn't it? So it is satisfying the property of trapezium. So all parallelograms are trapezium is a true statement. But all trapezium are not parallelogram, because in order to be parallelogram each pair of opposite sides needs to be parallel, which is not being satisfied by trapezium. Okay, but in a parallelogram each pair of opposite sides are parallel, and in order to be a trapezium only one pair needs to be parallel. So it satisfies all the properties of trapezium. So a parallelogram is, all parallelograms are definitely trapezium. Now H number, what is the question? All squares are trapeziums. Okay, so all squares. This is a square. Okay, now we have to see whether square is satisfying the property of trapezium or not. In order to be trapezium, one pair of opposite sides needs to be parallel. So, a square satisfies this property. So, it is true. In a square, one pair of opposite sides parallel, yes, it is holding that property. Okay, but if we say that all trapeziums are squares, then it is not true. Okay, here they have told all squares are trapeziums, so it is a true statement. Now coming to the second question, very simple question. Identify all the quadrilaterals that have 4 sides of equal length. So, a quadrilateral whose 4 sides are of equal length will be what? All of you know the answer. The second question, the first part will be rhombus and square, isn't it? Rhombus and square. Now coming to the B part, what have they told? 4 right angles. So, the quadrilaterals whose 4 angles are right angle are square and rectangle. Okay, done. Now coming to question number 3. Explain how a square is a quadrilateral. Why we say that a square is a quadrilateral? Because a square has 4 sides. This is the thing needed, no? Because a square is also having 4 sides. Then how a square is a parallelogram? Because in a square, each pair of opposite sides are parallel. The third one, how a square is a rhombus? Because our square has all the sides of equal measurement. How a square is a rectangle? Because a square is a parallelogram whose all the angles are right angle. Okay, I am just discussing these things. Now number 4, name the quadrilaterals whose diagonals bisect each other. Those will be parallelogram, then square, rectangle. Parallelogram will be there, square will be there, rectangle will be there, rhombus will be there, isn't it? All these quadrilaterals have their diagonals bisecting each other. Now the second one is whose diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. In this case, we will be having only 2 quadrilaterals. That one will be rhombus, perpendicular bisectors of each other, isn't it? Rhombus as well as square. So, only 2 types of quadrilaterals are there whose diagonals are bisecting each other perpendicularly, and the answer will be rhombus and square. Now, the third one, quadrilaterals whose diagonals are equal. So, means quadrilaterals whose diagonals are equal will be what? You are having the rectangle and the square. Okay, in these 2 cases only the diagonals will be of equal length. Okay, so the answer will be a square and a rectangle. Okay, now question number 5, explain why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Okay, so these things have been discussed. All of you know what is a convex quadrilateral and what is a concave quadrilateral. In convex quadrilateral, all the diagonals will be lying totally in the interior of the quadrilateral, and all the angles will be of measurement less than 180 degree. Okay, so they are asking why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Okay, so here you can write the answer as, you will have to write both the reasons. We are having 2 reasons for that one. Okay, so just write, I am writing this one, why a rectangle? A rectangle is a convex quadrilateral because number 1, both of its diagonals lie in the interior of lie in the interior of the rectangle. And what else? All the angles are less than 180 degree. Okay. So, here these are the two reasons which satisfy the condition for rectangle to be a convex quadrilateral, because both of its diagonals lie in the interior of the rectangle and all the angles are less than 180 degree. Okay. All the angles means interior angles. So, here is the last question of exercise 3.4. They have told that ABC is a right angled triangle and O is a point, O is the midpoint of the side opposite to the right angle. So, this is the right angle and O is a point which is in the O is a point opposite to that of the right angle, and it is the midpoint of the side AC. Okay. So, if it is midpoint, can we write like this? AO is equal to OC. Okay. Explain why O is equidistant from B, A and C. Okay. So, the question is, we have to prove that why O is equidistant from A, B and C, means we have to prove that OA is equal to OB is equal to OC, isn't it? Now, what I am going to do is, I am going to do some construction. Okay. I will be drawing AD parallel to BC, and here also this is CD parallel to BA. So, ultimately what did we get? This is parallel to this is parallel to this. Ultimately it means that, see our figure, it has to be like this. Okay. It has to be straight like this. This is the point O. So, we are drawing this parallel to this and this parallel to this. So, ultimately what we can say about ABCD? ABCD is a parallelogram, and here one angle is given to be 90 degree, right angle. Okay. So, a parallelogram whose one angle is 90 degree, that means that ultimately that particular parallelogram is a rectangle, isn't it? And what we know about the diagonals of a rectangle? The diagonals of the rectangle are of equal measure. So, we can say that AC will be equal to BD, and also the diagonals bisect each other. So, we will be saying that AO is equal to OC and BO is equal to OD. Since AC and BD are same, I can say that half of AC will be equal to half of BD. Now, half of AC is AO is equal to BO, isn't it? BD's half is BO. So, ultimately we can say that AO, and it is already given that O is the midpoint of AC. So, AO is equal to OC already is there, and now we have proved that AO is equal to BO. So, ultimately AO is equal to OC is equal to BO. Now, how to write this one? Okay, we have understood what how we have to do. Now, how to write it in a proper manner? First, you will write given in right triangle ABC, angle B is equal to 90 degree. Also, AO is equal to OC. Now, what we need to prove? To prove O is equidistant from A, B and C. It means what? AO equal to BO equal to OC. Okay. To prove AO equal to BO equal to OC. Have you understood why I have written this one? AO equal to BO equal to OC, because we need to prove that O is a point which is at an equal distance from all these points. So, equal distance means ultimately AO equal to BO equal to OC. Now, we will start the proof. Okay. Here is the proof. Now, in order to prove this one, we are doing one construction. So, let us write construction first. Okay, we are doing a small construction. See, I am following this order because see, whenever you are doing some problems, this type of things, we have to prove something in geometry, no, it is better to write in this particular way, because when you will be in class 9, 10, this is the proper format of writing. Okay, so if you start practicing from the very beginning, from now itself, it will be easier for you in the later classes, okay, higher classes. So construction, what we will be writing, we draw CD parallel, this is the sign of parallel, CD parallel to BA and AD parallel to BC. Okay, now here our proof starts. After construction, proof starts. Now say this is parallel to this is parallel to this. Since we have already written na, ABCD is a parallelogram. Why I have written parallelogram? What is the reason? Suddenly I have written this ABCD is a parallelogram. What is the reason? What we will write? Since, you have to write it on the right side. Since each pair of opposite sides are equal. Okay, opposite, in short I have written opposite sides are equal. Now ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, just pause the video and write it down. Also, angle B is equal to 90 degree. This thing is given, isn't it? Therefore, what we can write? Therefore, ABCD is a rectangle. ABCD is a rectangle. Now, in case of rectangle, we can say that in a rectangle, the diagonals are of equal length and also bisect each other. Okay, also bisect each other. So what we are saying, that in case of a rectangle, the diagonals are of equal length and also they bisect each other. Therefore, what we can write? Therefore, AC is equal to BD and AO is equal to OC, BO is equal to OD. Okay, that is, hence AOOC means what? We can write AC can be written as AO plus OC, BD can be written as BO plus OD, and since both are equal, we can write it as AO plus AO, isn't it? AO plus AO can't we write, because AO and OC are same, so we can write 2AO is equal to 2BO, implies 2 cancel, AO is equal to BO. Done? Understood beta, everyone? Now the third part, what we will write lastly. Therefore, AO is equal to BO is equal to CO. CO was already given, no? That's why, hence proved. So we can write that O is equidistant from AB and C. hence O is equidistant from A, B and C.